game day till almost Wednesday without showering. I would kill Sean because he just was the last team that I played and he beat me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. And as you can see by the punchline, the thumbnail on the screen, question of the day. And I have a special guest I'm going to introduce in just a second. But question of the day, will Mike McDaniel's comedic personality come back to bite him in the butt? Now, before we dive into this question, I want everybody's video comment below. Let's have a conversation. And as we dive into this question, I got the VP of Miami Sports and Music. It's a Miami Dolphins podcast, one of the biggest ones out there on the internet. Steven Daniels, my longtime friend. How you doing today, man?
What's up, buddy? How are you, man? Good to be part of the show again. I missed being here. I like it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's great, man. Anytime Steve and I come together, man, we're like Kane and Undertaker, man. And we came to.
We both moved to different.
We gonna wreck some stuff.
We both moved to different parts of the country, and now we're both Southern boys. Now we're both good old boys in the South.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing now. We're not.
Man, you already know you're my country cousin, man. You're in Mississippi. I'm in Texas, man.
I'm in what they call the SIP. I'm in the SIP. The SIP.
But let's jump into the meat and potatoes here, man. Southern quote right there for you. Mike McDaniel's comedic personality, like we all love it. I'm a fan of Mike McDaniel. Like I love him. I'm happy he's our coach. I wouldn't want another coach. But at times when we lose, right? Sometimes we don't want to hear that. And he doesn't do it right after the games. But man, Steven, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on his comedic personality? Do you think that's going to come back to ultimately bite him in the butt?
Look, Mike McDaniel is definitely different from a lot of the head coaches we've seen in the Shield for the last 30 years, right? There was a long time that guys like Marvin Lewis and Jeff Fisher got to keep coaching for 20 plus years because that's who they thought a coach should be. And the problem you have to realize is in today's NFL is it's millionaires versus billionaires, right? And the problem is when a player's making $50 million a year and the coach doesn't work out, for example, Josh McDaniels in Denver and now obviously in Vegas, he's not going to last long. He's going to get about 20 to 30 games, and if it's not working out, you're gone. Now, Mike McDaniel is different. Now that's a horse of a different color. Okay. He's different. I've never seen anybody quite like him. He's very eclectic. My man is out there wearing like limited edition sneakers on the sideline, running from cameras, and just has this air about it. He's on sidelines at Miami Heat games with his players. And he's kind of brought on a whole life of his own and just his personality because it's just different, right? And the way he coaches is different. He's not, your old Bill Parcells or your disciplinarian. He is somebody that, look, this is how I go about coaching. This is how I'm going to do it. If you're going to work, he believes the best in people. Yeah. And it's part of the reason that Tua is having the year that he's having and is being MVP, right? And it's part of the reason that, in my opinion, Doug, we are where we're at, which is 6-3, and we're in that situation right now as a direct result because of Mike McDaniel, because of the way he coaches and the way he goes about coaching. I love him. I'm a huge Mike McDaniel fan. Was he the guy that I wanted when Brian Flores left? No, he wasn't. To be perfectly honest, I wanted Doug Peterson. I wanted a tenured head coach, somebody who's failed somewhere before, who knows what to do in order to succeed, or somebody that's had success elsewhere that knows what to do to succeed. Because Miami has had a long, short, because I contradict by saying long and short, because it's only been like 15 years, but it's been like 8 head coaches in those 15 years. It's been a lot, man. First-time head coaches. Yeah. And it just doesn't work out well for us, Doug, with first-time head coaches. So that is the only thing that I kind of put the brakes on. I'm not 100% full on board with McDaniel. I like the guy. He's different. He's somebody that I've never seen in the NFL before. And in the first year, we had a top 10 offense in the NFL, and we're looking at an historic offense this year. Now, the whole conversation about how we play against top 5 or top teams over 500 and under 500, it's a totally different conversation to have. But in my opinion, I mean, we're right where we need to be as a franchise, and Mike McDaniel's the reason for it, in my opinion.
I love that. I love that, Steven. Thank you so much for breaking that down for me, man. Yeah, and I'll say this too. I'm about to answer the question myself, because you brought up a lot of fantastic points I want to touch on. Our problems this year are super fixable. So if you're a Dolphin fan and you need some hope, welcome to the Church of Miami Dolphin. Okay,
I'm your local opium dealer. That's what I try to tell people all the time.
Yeah.
I'm your local opium dealer.
Absolutely, man. And you know, our problems are fixable, super fixable. We've had injuries. We're gonna get hot at the right time, man. I like to think about the New York Giants. The last time, 2 times they won the Super Bowl, right? And they were teams that were gonna be out by the wild card, maybe the divisional at the best.
Yep.
And they got hot at the right time and they won a championship. Right. So we won't get there. But you know, I like to think, as far as soft-spoken coaches and coaches that are not rah yelling in your face. There's so many different styles. There's Bill Belichick. There's I mean, the list goes on and on. There's the Bill Belichick way of doing things. You have the coach from the Philadelphia Eagles, the way he does things. He has a little bit of a personality. Nick Sirianni. Thank you. And the list goes
on. of LA. Right.
Yeah.
He's another one. He won the Super Bowl with Stafford and the Rams. Totally different, you know?
Oh, completely different. And there's what we've seen in the last, you know, over 5 decades of the NFL's life is that you could win it with different personalities. Dick Vermeil, he won it his way, right? We've seen that. Then we've seen people who are just absolute hard asses. We've seen Jimmy Johnson taking one for the Cowboys back in the day, you know, and the list goes on. But one person I like to think about who is he's not like on the comedic side is Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy, there was a conversation like he's just not hard enough. So they bring in John Gruden as the polar opposite, right? So we've seen that as well too. And I feel like it's going to work in our favor, but the other way around. Like we had Brian Flores and now we have Mike McDaniel. You know what I mean? We never seen a Mike McDaniel before. You say yourself, he dressed different. He dressed like how a lot of the players. He's real swaggy. He got nice.
He's Coach Swaggy McDaniel. That's all.
Yeah,
you know, that's how he is to me.
Yeah,
100% he is. He's definitely different. We've never seen anything like this in the NFL.
Master communicator. And I just got my degree. Shout out to GCU, Grand Canyon University. Just got my degree, and
Grand Canyon University in the building. Let's go.
The Lopes, what's up, baby?
I love it.
When they still did this, I was like, what the hell is this? Anywho, another episode for another day. You know, I took this class about emotional intelligence. I knew about IQ. I didn't know about EQ, emotional intelligence. And that is something Mike has. And because he's able to connect with people that most coaches would have just kicked to the curb. I'll be honest, Austin Jackson, I was definitely no, get him out of there. He's playing a lot better this year, man.
Let me kind of give you an example we can all see and another side one, right?
Yeah.
Tua is the example that we all see and is the one that's the national level, right? You had a coach who came in, who didn't believe in his skills, who didn't think he was going to be anything, and they let him go. They let him walk. And they said, hey, look, whoever comes in next, if you want to be with Tua, he's here. And they knew that whoever came in, if they were going to keep Tua, had to believe in Tua.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a guy like Mike McDaniel who, and he said this in the interview and plenty of interviews, he's like, I just watched film after film, after play, after play, after play. I was in the lab. And what I was seeing was not what everybody was telling me. I was seeing a player who could hit spots like no. People talk about Tua being a spot thrower. There's nothing wrong with that. He's really good at it, and he hits
problems to have.
He needs to. Yes, has he had some issues with it in the Philadelphia game in the Kansas City this year at times? 100%. But nobody's perfect, right? And at the end of the day, he's still putting up. He's still. In my opinion, he's an MVP candidate right now. And over the next 4 weeks playing against these teams, I think he's going to put up some numbers that are going to be like, okay, yes, he's an MVP candidate. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. But with all that being said, that's the one that you can see. And we saw that with Tyreek when he came through the door. He was on his podcast. It needed to be said, oh, man, he's a better thrower than Patrick Mahomes. He didn't say that he had a better arm than Patrick Mahomes. He just said he's a better thrower, pure thrower of hitting the spots and where he needs to be.
Yeah.
And people thought Tyreek was crazy for saying that.
Yeah.
Go look at Tua and
Now we see
confident, right? Like it's all paying off. Now, with all that being said, the real one that a lot of people aren't noticing, last year was Mike McDaniel's first year. He brought in a guy named Matt Applebaum from Boston College University to be the offensive line head coach last year.
Yes.
I was big on Applebaum. I said it on my channel. I said it on my show. Hey, look, this is going to be one of the best hires. Why is that, Steven? He's a guy from, Boston College. Well, look, Boston College is a mid-ranked team in college football, had a top 10 offensive line over the last couple of years. And why was that? One of the reasons was Matt Applebaum. So when you have a mid-tier team in college football having a top 10 offensive line, you would think that, well, part of the reason for that is because your coaching ability to get these players to a level that can be rated top 10 in college football. Well, Matt Applebaum didn't work out, right? And at the end of the year at the press conference, McDaniel sits in the press conference and says, hey, look, I had to have Frank Smith, who's the offense coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, sit in game film. Like he could not utilize Frank Smith the way he needed to as an offensive coordinator because he was having Frank Smith be in the room with Matt Applebaum because he wasn't 100% trusting of Matt Applebaum to be able to teach the things he needed to the offensive line. Yes. So what happens? They get rid of Applebaum, right? And they bring in this guy named Butch Berry. Now, Butch Berry has this offense of background with a lot in professional and college football for years. Yeah. But recently he was with Denver, right? And he was with Denver and he left Denver very controversially. And there were people saying, oh my God, the players thought he was horrible. He was this thing. So there's this red flag. But what I noticed that when Butch Berry came on to be the offensive line head coach this year, is I said, man, he was with McDaniel at San Francisco with the 49ers for a couple of years. Yeah. And I said, what McDaniel values more than anything is trust. Yeah. And I'm not talking about being a liar or being a truth teller, but understanding, can I trust this person with what I have given them to do? And he gave Butch Berry a job, trusting that he was going to take this offensive line to the next level. Now, in the preseason, I can tell you, I was raising my hands on my, offensive line is our biggest weakness.
I did the same thing.
Like, it's not going to be good. I don't know about this Butch Berry fella.
It's going to be a long year.
It could be a long year for the offensive line. And what has he done with, by the way, the most injuries on the offensive line of any team in the NFL this year? Top 10 O-line. Now, there have been moments that have been like, look, I still have my feelings about Connor Williams of being a center, and that was proven in the Kansas City game in the final 4 snaps. Okay, so I'll still scream at the top of my lungs he's not a true center, but neither here or there, right? He for the first time since the unicorn offensive line of what it was called, this is an O-line that can legit move. It can be good. It's effective. It has people in the backfield that are running for over 5 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry. When people are healthy, this is still a good offensive line. And when people have been hurt, the next man has come up and been effective on the O-line. Tua Tagovailoa has been the least hit quarterback in the NFL this year. That says something. When Ryan Tannehill was in Miami as the quarterback, he was the most hit quarterback in the NFL for 7 years.
Years in a row. Yeah, exactly. I remember that.
Quarterback in the NFL. Sacks, quarterback hits, quarterback pressured, the works. Yeah. But when Butch Berry comes, that's a Mike McDaniel guy that he trusts. He's like, well, now he even said in the preseason, McDaniel said, now I'm hoping that I can have Frank Smith in offensive meetings helping me game plan more. And I still remember him saying that in a press conference in the preseason. And I'm like, he does. He has him. He's Butch Berry, in my opinion. And I thought Vic Fangio would be the biggest offseason acquisition this year, including players. Although Jalen Ramsey does give me a run for the money with that saying. You gotta say Butch Berry's been a very great acquisition to bring on board as an offensive line coach. And for the first time in maybe 20 years, we have a legit offensive line coach that isn't because the last time we did, that gentleman was doing drug paraphernalia off strippers and team.
Oh yeah.
So by the
No
way,
standard.
he has a job with the San Francisco 49ers. Chris Forrester, he's the offensive line coach with the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh
If I don't
wow.
know anything. So
Oh
the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion, especially with McDaniel, he makes very smart, calculated decisions. He goes about things in very meticulous ways that are different. They're unconventional.
Yeah.
But I know people are mad that we lost against Philadelphia, and I know people are mad the way we lost against Kansas City. It sucked. I haven't done a show in a week, to be perfectly honest with you. Part of that is I'm spending quality time with my family, but part of that is I don't want to hear the
negativity, man.
It's not the negativity, it's the fraud narrative that people are throwing around for the Dolphins.
Yeah, we're not frauds at all.
It's such a complete BS. The only game that we have legit been out of is the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
And the other two games that we lost were against the two teams in the Super Bowl last year. What are we talking about?
Yeah. And it's good that it happens. It's not good, but I'll say it was good that it's happened. I'd rather happen this time of the year than later in the year. We have time to fix this. Plus, we have people coming back late November, December. We have multiple people coming back. So it's like, and it's like, wow, we can identify this now, that to not face quality teams and you end up like the Dallas Cowboys and get bounced right out of the first round of playoffs last year. I don't want that to be us. Like, let's win a championship this year. Everything, all the chips on the table. You know what I mean? So,
the greatest show on turf, was it 1999 or 2000 St. Louis Rams?
Yeah. 99 Rams.
One game that year.
Yeah.
They beat that had a record over 500. And by the way, that team, if I am correct, and I could be wrong, but that team that they did beat that was over 500 finished the year under 500. So,
okay.
At least in regular season. So everybody's like, well, we got to beat a team with good. No. There's a blueprint of a team that won a Super Bowl ring that didn't beat a team over 500 the whole year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And won a Super Bowl.
There were some good teams back then, man. They were Buccaneers.
Exactly. And so I tell people all the time, the Dolphins, if somebody asked me going into the bye week that they'd be 6-3 and in first place in the AFC East, sign me up. Sign me up. Take my money. Sign me up. Let's go. I'm listening all day. And a big part of that is Mike McDaniel and his unconventional way of teaching and his unconventional way of communicating. And I got to be honest with you, man. If he isn't coach of the year when this is all said and done, there's a problem because he should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, Stephen Daniels, you hit it. He hit the nail right on the head, man. And what's crazy is like people like Stephen A. Smith, I'm gonna call what it is, ESPN, very few people in mainstream media, like the evidence is there about us. All the stuff that you were pointing out, you pointed out dates and receipts, my man. And like the evidence is there, but they're going to be biased like they are. You know, that's why I tell people they need to follow Miami sports music. You know what I mean? They need to follow, like we have so many people, Dudley Do Wrong. There's a lot of great names out there. Dolphins United. I mean, the list goes on. I could think of like 10 names, you know, that people could take and go and reference. If you want Dolphins quality, Dolphins content to step on the team.
Those Finn's Tailgate people, they're weird. I love them. They're good guys.
Finn's Tailgate. That's my guy. Chris, what's up, Chris? We got to get you on the pod, bro.
That fella over there. Damn, I love those guys. They're great. But you're not wrong. The national media and the national perspective, Doug, is something that look here. So I had this conversation before the Kansas City game on my channel.
Yeah.
I said, if the Dolphins get blown out, I can hear the fraud. I'll listen to the fraud argument.
Yeah.
But if they lose by a touchdown or less, I'm not listening to the fraud argument. I don't want to listen to it. Like, to me, it's stupid. Now, did we go down 21-0? Or was I sitting there at halftime depressed as all hell? Yes, I
saw
was.
your Instagram story.
It was a rough half.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the game, I was, let's go. We had it. And by the way, I agree with your statement that I'm glad it's happening now because we're going to be able to fix these things as we move forward into the year.
Yeah.
I'm excited that the Miami Dolphins are getting the in-season Hard Knocks. Like, for me, that's crazy that they're the in-season Hard Knocks team this year.
Yeah, first time ever too.
We're going to get a direct link of or direct insight of how the communication is on this team. And I know the players don't like it. And I get why they don't. And I get why some fans might think, oh, this could be a distraction. I don't think so.
This team's focused, man.
This team's focused. The leadership of this team from the top down is all good. Everybody's on the same page, and everybody's there to do one thing and one thing only. And what is that? Win a Super Bowl. And I think that we have all the pieces that we need. And look, for 2 of the 3 games to be lost by like 6.5 minutes in the Philadelphia game was one score game.
Yeah.
And to lose the Kansas City game the way that we did sucks, but we lost by a touchdown. Yeah. And we held the Kansas City Chiefs to 14 points offensively.
Yeah.
We held Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to 14 points.
It's insane. Like, doesn't happen.
The Dolphins only scored 14. Yeah. Go look at the defense, too.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk crap about the offense, go give praise to the defense.
Yeah.
Because they put us in a position to win that game.
Yeah. They scored nothing the second half, too.
Nothing.
That, like,
I'm telling y'all
Goat
right
Junior
now,
couldn't do it.
Dolphins are just we're there. We're on the cusp. And I know that as fans, we want to get over that hump.
Yeah.
But guys, trust and believe. Just patience is a virtue. And I know it's so weird me saying patience is a virtue to Dolphins fans, because we have been waiting for years. And the last thing we want to hear from somebody, and especially for me for years, I was like, don't tell me to be patient. We've been trashed for the last decade plus. I don't want to hear patience. No, guys. If you want, if there was ever a time to hear patience, it's right now, because it's in season. We're moving. We're getting better. We're evolving. And the things that we need to do to change, there's no reason for me to think that they're going to move backwards. Everything tells me that this team is going to move forward. I'm not saying it's 100% spot on that it's going to happen, but I'm 99.9% confident that it is. And that's just how I feel about it, Doug. I think I know we lost to the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think we're the best team in the NFL. And I do. It's home. There's some homerism in that statement. I get that. But tell me a team, any team, with I won't say any team. There's probably the Ravens, and are the Ravens the only team with 1 loss right now?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I want to say the Ravens.
So with
if
the
not
exception,
1, maybe 2.
With the exception of the Ravens.
Yeah.
Man, and you know what? Here, I'll do this while we're talking, just to be safe. Standings. Here we go. No, they're 2 losses.
2 losses. Okay. Yeah.
There is no team. The Eagles. The Eagles have 1 loss. Okay. Yeah. They're the only team, with the exception of the Philadelphia Eagles and maybe the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Name a team in the NFL that's been as consistent as us.
Yeah. We're the most. We're
most, and then we lose when we come back. That we have, they're against 2 of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we went out, man. I'll be real with you. I would not be surprised. And there's still a chance that we could maybe even get the number 1 seed in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Totally I called this. I said this out loud on my show. I said, no matter what the outcome is of Kansas City, the Dolphins are not losing a game till at least the Baltimore game on New Year's Eve. We're winning till at minimum New Year's Eve. And by that point, I could feel a lot more confident about the Ravens game and the Bills game at the end of the year. But the Dolphins I'm guaranteeing right now that the Miami Dolphins are going to win every single game till at least the Ravens and the Bills. And I'm not saying that we're going to lose those. I'm 100% confident we win every game till then. When we get to those last 2 games, I need to see how those teams are playing and everything plus us. But I'm 100% convinced that the next, what is that, 4 games? Is that 4 games? 4 games.
Yeah.
9, right? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
16, 17.
All right, so next 5 games. Dolphins are winning the next 5 games. I'm guaranteeing wins for the Miami Dolphins for
11-3, bro. And we could still beat the Bills at the end, and we could still beat the Ravens. We've handled Lamar Jackson pretty well the last 2 times we played him as well.
Sure have. I was at that one.
Oh yeah.
And, and I'll tell you, for everybody who's listening, if you want to go to the Baltimore game in Baltimore, Miami Sports Music, shameless plug here, we're putting together an awesome tailgate and meet and greet the night before. We did it last year. We call it the Baltimore Beatdown. If you go to tailgreeter.com or download the app today, type in Baltimore Beatdown, you can get tailgate tickets to the game, and you can RSVP to the free meet and greet the night before. It's awesome. I'm telling you right now, asked about the 100 people who went last year. It was one of the best experiences they've ever had at an away game. It was top notch, and it's awesome. So we'd love to see you in Baltimore. If you can come out for the Baltimore Beatdown, it's going to be great. We're also doing DC December 2nd, the FedEx Takeover. We're doing that as well. And I'm working on something pretty big for that Saturday night meet and greet.
Okay.
Former Miami Dolphin who has his own podcast.
Ooh.
Be attending. I'm like literally negotiating that as we speak tonight. So I'm hoping
that's dope, man.
48 hours.
Steven, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today, man. Like,
thank you.
Anybody who has questions, again, the question on the screen is, will Mike McDaniel's comedic personality bite him in the butt? The answer's hell no. It's not going to happen. And Steven, you laid down the law today. You came here with facts and receipts and timestamps. You did your thing, man. So thank you so much. Please let the good folks know where they can take and find you at. And also, folks, I'm going to have all the links down below in the description of this video.
I already plugged my stuff, man. I just want to tell the people right now, you know, what podcasters do on a week in, week out basis is grinding. A lot of us, 99.9% of us, unless your name is, I'm not even going to say that. 99.9% of podcasters or YouTubers, whatever you want to call it, have a real job on the side and support their own families and do this. And Doug Smith is one of those people. So I implore you, if you're watching this show right now, to hit the like button, to donate to the channel, to share the link, let people know what Doug's content is, because the only way that Doug grows is for the people that are watching right now. And so the Touchdown with Doug Smith is the only place to get the best one-on-one content in the land. I'm telling you, the work that you do with these college athletes before they come pro is better than nobody else in the industry is doing that better than you. I promise you that. And, you know, allowing me the opportunity to come on your platform and to be able to promote anything that I'm doing is great. And I love talking with you. You're a good friend, man. I love you. You're a good, humble human being, and you deserve every good thing that comes your way, man. And so I just want people to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and to share the link and donate. Matter of fact, if everybody who's watching right now donates $5, okay?
Yeah. Just
donate $5. Help Doug grow. That's all you got to do. Just donate $5. That's a cup of coffee, okay?
Yeah.
Cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Buy my man Doug a cup of coffee. That's all you got to do.
Oh yeah, no, that's love, bro.
Here, though, man, coffee getting expensive out here, Doug. That's all I'm saying,
dude. It's getting crazy, man. I
love you, Doug. You're the man.
And I love you too, brother. Dude, thank you so much for coming on, guys. Please follow my guy Steven Daniels at Miami Sports Music. He is the anchor of the community. We wouldn't be nothing without him, man. Steve, thank you so much again, big dog.
Yep, fins up, baby. Be good.
Turn 100 for the touchdown, king crown, gain inside, leading your town, hit you faster than the sound, bad boy, throw it down, yeah, I'm ill, not my will, don't copper fill the house, listen to the roaring crowd, drop a like, calm it down, Heisman, all the haters mouth, superhero hit them, wow, packing more action than bing, boom, bam, pow, touchdown for the win, we live, subscribe right now.